It has been just over a week since the Milwaukee Brewers traded Corbin Burnes to the Baltimore Orioles. So obviously, trade season is not over, and one can happen at any moment without notice. So we are going to get into 3 blockbuster trades that can go down. We're going to go back to Milwaukee, and we're going to find trades for Williams and Adames, who we all believe at this point could go at any moment. We are going to go to Boston, and we're going to find a trade package with Miami to get Boston starting pitching help that they need. Want to make sure you guys comment down below, leave your thoughts, especially if your team is included in these trade packages. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoy the video and subscribe if you're new. Let's get started, and we're going to start in Boston with an Edward Cabrera trade package. Now, why Cabrera? Why not Luzardo? Why not Braxton Garrett? Why not anybody else in that rotation? Well, first, let's back up. The reason why we're going Miami anyway is Morosi, in a recent MLB.com article with him and Feinsand tag teamed some questions from the MLB community. They were asked, do you see another major trade happening? Who could be moved? And Morosi's prediction was that Miami would make a significant trade and that Peter Bendix might be comfortable moving one of those young starting pitchers. Why Cabrera specifically? He's out of options. So if he's struggling, you're stuck with him if you're Miami. You need to move on from him. There's a ton of pitching there. This is the trade piece. So why Boston? Look at the rotation. It doesn't get it done. Not in the American League East. Lucas Giolito as the one, not going to get it done. Nick Pivetta, I like Pivetta. Pivetta's okay. Bayo, I think there's something good with Bayo. Crawford and Houck, feels like one of them is probably better suited in the bullpen. And if the Red Sox trade Kenley Jansen, Tanner Houck might be the closer. So let's grab Edward Cabrera, put him on the Boston Red Sox. Now we're going to build the trade. What's the value? Baseball trade values gives him a $19.6 million value. And I'll say up front, these baseball trade values we are about to look at, I agree with all of them. Don't have any players in here that I think are overvalued or undervalued. Edward Cabrera with 5 years of control. Even though there's the no options thing, 5 years of control for a pitcher that is incredibly talented. $19.6 million value. This is not going to be hard to get to. Here we go. Red Sox receive Edward Cabrera, and Miami receives Nick York, second baseman, the number 8 prospect in the Boston system. Luis Perales, a pitcher, the number 9 prospect in the system. And we slide down the farm system to find Angel Bastardo, another pitcher, the number 27 prospect. So you get 2 pitchers to add to the farm system, and Nick York, position player, that isn't too much farther along. So I like this package. I would love for you guys to comment down below. Red Sox fans, would you do this trade? Miami, would you take this in return? Here's how it looks in baseball trade values. We have a $19 million value going to Miami and a $19.6 million value going to Boston. So what do we have? Fair trade. Let's move on to the Blue Jays and the Brewers. Why Toronto here? Well, Toronto definitely feels like there's some urgency with Bo and Vladdy only under control for 2 more years. That feels like the window. And they have said it. The front office has said it this offseason that they're open to rental players, that there is, there's a word again, urgency. So what are we doing? We're bringing in Adames. Look at the lineup. Yes, Willy Adames is needed here. Willy Adames would provide some pop. You add him into this group. Where, though? Where? I make a case for third base. Again, with the urgency that we're talking about here, Kevin Biggio with third, I don't think gets it done. And if we have that kind of urgency, again, I think that's the 4th time I've said it in the last 60 seconds, so I apologize for those that I'm annoying with that word again. You've got to wonder, are they going to, is this the year to say, all right, let's see if Elvis Martinez has it. Let's see if Addison Barger has it. Or would you rather go with a player that gives you some more certainty? And that's what Adames brings. Now, again, third base, he's a shortstop. I believe Willy Adames' arm is strong enough for him to play third base. 73rd percentile in arm strength. Now, you could argue that Willie should be the shortstop and that Bo moves to second, but I don't believe that would happen. Bo's the shortstop. Willie would be the player. Willie is coming in. Willie may only be here for 1 year. He's the guy who changes position, and I think Willie's best position, if it's not going to be shortstop, would be third base for the Toronto Blue Jays. So what's the value? $11.1 million. I want to tell you this. This trade is one of the easiest, most logical trades that I've put together on baseball trade values this offseason. Here we go. Willy Adames to the Toronto Blue Jays. To the Milwaukee Brewers, it's Yusei Kikuchi and Santiago Espinal. You send pitching to Milwaukee. You send a good, reliable defender back to Milwaukee, and the Blue Jays get good defense. Blue Jays are valuing defense with Willy Adames, and you get the bat. Blue Jays, if you could pick Ha-Seong Kim or Willy Adames, I think they would go Adames because of what the bat potential would be. Again, the Milwaukee Brewers just traded Corbin Burnes away. Don't you feel like bringing in a starting pitcher would be of value? And Kikuchi makes less than Willy Adames. So in a world where you're Milwaukee and you're thinking about your money, maybe Kikuchi's more valuable. He slides into that rotation. He makes less than Adames. And if you're Toronto, Willy Adames' salary over Yusei Kikuchi's salary does not take you into that second tax threshold. Works on both sides. This is a great trade. This is almost a perfect trade. We have an $11.2 million value going to Milwaukee and $11.1 million value going to Toronto. This is the closest to perfection we have had using baseball trade values this offseason. Obviously, a fair trade. Jays fans, comment down below. Is this the player you would want? Do you agree with the trade? Kikuchi's out. What that does, that creates competition between Yariel Rodriguez and Ricky Tiedemann for the final spot in the rotation. That's a good thing. Let's move on to the Dodgers. Let's move on to Devin Williams. This bullpen, it's good. I argue it's not great. If the Dodgers are out here building a team to set a new mark for wins in a regular season and go undefeated through the postseason, I'm kidding, but it kind of feels like that's what they're doing, then we need to add more to this bullpen. We need to make that bullpen great, and Devin Williams would do that. So what's the trade? We have a $22.4 million value for Devin Williams. That may seem high, but consider Emmanuel Clase's value of $51.4. A little bit easier of a pill to swallow if you're trying to trade for Devin Williams compared to Emmanuel Clase. And I know, Dodger fans, you've wanted Clase. And if you can get Williams for less, it's great. So let's do it. Williams to the Dodgers. The Brewers get Miguel Vargas and Landon Knack. Two players that, quite frankly, I mean, Vargas, I feel like he's maybe run out of time and run out of a spot at this point. And Landon Knack has absolutely no path. So the Brewers would value those two players. Vargas and Knack would get... Knack would be... If he doesn't start the season with Milwaukee, he'll be up in 2024. He has a path. Vargas would be in there right away. He has a path. So the value for Vargas and Knack in Milwaukee is higher than it is with the Dodgers. And Williams, for the Dodgers, would obviously carry higher value than Vargas and Knack. Williams, you got multiple years. Williams could close. Williams could be dominant at a high leverage situation earlier in the game. And the fact that you have guys like Gratterall and Phillips. So you do this trade. How's it look on baseball trade values? It's pretty damn near perfect. $22.6 million value going to Milwaukee. $22.4 million value going to the Dodgers. Again, a fair trade. Your bullpen, if you're the Dodgers, goes from good to great. And I think that's what you need. And Vargas and Knack, you won't miss them. Anybody that has a take on any of the trades that we have proposed, leave your comments down below. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? If you hate it, what's your trade? Revise the package. These trades make sense for all three teams, Dodgers, Blue Jays, and Red Sox, and they also make sense for the Brewers and Miami. That's it for this one, everybody. Make sure to hit that like on the way out and subscribe if you have not yet. Stay close to the channel. More baseball content coming as we get closer to and into spring training and the 2024 season being right around the corner. Ballcap Nation, I salute you. Thank you guys for coming in. As always, if it's low, let it go. And if it's high, let it fly. I'll catch you next time.